lives are great. Something I never heard my radio say. Black lives are precious, black lives are great. Something I never see my TV say. But since I know you never heard it.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Cater Down, with another episode of the Love First podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest. Mr. Fredrick Hawthorne from Barbershop Conversations is in the building. What's up, my brother?
What's up, man? I'm ready to rock, man. Thank you for having me on your platform, man.
Yes, man.
I truly appreciate you, brother. Thank you, dog.
It's a blessing having you, man. I've been following you for some years, and just watching you grow, man. You do media. You're a Black owner. You have a podcast now. I mean, just really dope, man. I just wanted our audience to also hear what you got going on over here. And even before we get started, because I know they're going to want to follow you, let them know where they can actually follow you and get directly to you.
Thank you. Silent Heroes on Instagram, SILENTHEROS, and Barbershop Conversations on YouTube. Yes.
Yeah. Now you actually talk a lot about my favorite sport, which is boxing. Yeah. Actually, I don't even have enough boxing friends in my life like that the way I need.
Right. None of us do, man, for real.
So I'm glad you out here. But you actually said something that was very inspirational. I caught on your Instagram that really caught me. And it was how Floyd Mayweather, one of the richest boxers ever, made over $1 billion. You feel like he had one major regret. And to me, it made so much sense. Could you kind of elaborate on what you think Floyd Mayweather's regret was? Yeah,
Floyd made a great deal of money, made over $1 billion. If you don't believe me, he'll gladly tell you. He made one big grave error. He didn't seek ownership. He could have, like, him and Al Heyman are great business partners together. Al Heyman overpaid him because he knows Floyd's weakness. Floyd's weakness is money. Floyd's weakness is flaunting. Floyd Mayweather has proven that I have more money than you. So Al says, I'll give you more money. I'll leverage you and your platform, and I will seek ownership, and that being PBC. And I think that's the biggest regret Floyd Mayweather has, because you hear a lot in his interviews, he's always downplaying PBC fighters. Terence Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter. And then a week later, he says, I own PBC. You're lying. If you get what I'm saying? You're lying if you say that. You know what I mean? So he's anti-Deontay Wilder, and he believes Tyson Fury is going to win. I thought you owned PBC. You know, if you love money so much, you understand. So that was his biggest regret. And I believe he was massaged and manipulated by Warren Buffett. Not Warren Buffett. His name is Warren Buffett, right?
Yeah, Warren Buffett.
Yeah, Warren Buffett. Yeah, I'm thinking of Warren, the actor. I was thinking, I don't know why I had that name in my head. But I remember he came for the Manny Pacquiao fight, and I remember Floyd flaunting him.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting back watching. You know, obviously not many people in the room have as much money as those two, right? So you sit back and you play your role, right? And I watch Floyd flaunt this old white man around. Me and him are friends. He owns Coca-Cola. He owns this. He owns that. They finagled Floyd out of a boatload of money, I'm sure. And the reason how I know that is because in the interviews to follow that fight, Floyd was flaunting the fact that he owned skyscrapers in New York City. And I says, they got you on an investment group. Now they got this boatload of money tied up for 100 years. They're going to give you $3 million a quarter, however they pay out. And now you're stuck. Yeah, you're worth a lot of money, but you can't touch it. You understand? And that's the problem that he made. He didn't tell Al Heyman, I want to be your partner in PBC. We can leverage my $1 billion that I've made in cash. We could turn that into $10 billion worth of equity versus loans and have partners. And he allowed Warren Buffett to take his cash on hand. You know, cash is king, you know, and now that money is tied up and he's getting that money monthly, but it's not no sense of ownership in his life, and TMT is kind of failing. They don't really have a superstar. He's not making no money on them, and so I think that's the big component in which I believe Floyd is failing at is that ownership component.
Definitely. And that goes for a lot of sports. And I know we have a lot of musicians that listen to this as well. And everyone, it almost feels like you're running to go sell your soul at a quick bag, but you have to believe in yourself to know if you're making this much and someone's willing to give you this, it's because you're worth a lot more, you know? So that ownership, I definitely, I preach that. You're actually an owner. You've done a lot of things independently, but you do major level stuff and you work with major level people. Can you tell us what inspired you to stay independent? Like, and what situations have you even turned down? Because you're like, no, I want to have full ownership of my stuff, and what comes with that?
I've turned down a multi-million-dollar deal from Warner Brothers. I've turned down a 6-figure job from ESPN as a producer, content producer. I was laid off as a school teacher, and I was the best teacher in the district. Right. I had every major newspaper come into my school teaching. I had Amari Hardwick in my classroom. The list goes on and on and on, volunteering, giving back. Me and Omari used to be real cool when he lived in LA. And so I realized then when I got laid off, I said, I'll never, ever let no one ever call me nigga again. And how I conceived that was, if they feed you, they can starve you. And in that moment, I said, this is never happening to me ever, ever, ever again. So I said it's up to me to turn 1 penny into 2 cents, 2 cents into a nickel into a dime, and so on and so forth. And I've abided by that, you know. And the one thing that I've taken from that is that no matter everything that I create, I own. So that leads me to say I can own my voice. I can own every syllable. I can own every word, every sentence, every paragraph, and every book that I write. Whereas I don't have to be considerate of other people's religions, emotions, financial status, where they live, how they live. And I've learned to value that over the course of time. I didn't know the freedoms it came with, but now that I'm 43, I started this journey being laid off at 27, 16 years in the independent game. And I've learned that through the course of time. You understand what I'm saying? I would tell people that if you don't own yourself, someone else is going to own you, you know, and that's as simple as that can be. You hate Monday because someone owns you.
Yep.
You know, I get on the phone sometimes and I'll be like, what day is this? Like, where we at? Like, honestly, like no one is going to own me. You, I can't believe that you are on earth to enjoy a day and a half a week. Because Sunday at 3 o'clock, you got to shut the shit down. When that last football game is over, when LeBron James makes that last jump shot, you like, oh shit, I got to go work for this man again. I got to go work for this woman. And you get literally a day and a half.
Yeah.
You got to do that for 35 years to make $4,000 a month for the rest of your life until you die. And life expectancy now is 78. Retirement is what, 60 something?
And that's if you do the right things working for somebody else, you know?
Right. No, you absolutely.
No, what you said was really, really powerful. And it just kind of shows how much you believed in yourself just to turn down those situations. Because somebody would see, okay, $1 million or multi-million, I'm gonna just jump for that. But you just know you're worth it. And then I kind of give the same metaphor too. Like, hey, there's like, you made it out of like 1 billion sperm cells. You know what I'm saying? To be unhappy on this planet? Like, come on.
Right. Yeah. Race to the egg. You know what I mean?
Now, being independent, it's never the easiest. I don't like speaking that it's hard, but it's not the easiest route. And sometimes we do make mistakes. I don't like to call it failures because it's a learning lesson if you don't give up and you learn from it. So can you tell us a learning lesson that you've had?
I would say sleep when you're done. You know, like I don't really give into fatigue. I don't have no weaknesses in my life. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke, and that's because I'm an independent man. So I can't have any weaknesses in my life. I can't succumb to religion. I can't succumb to drugs and alcohol. I can't succumb to pussy. I can't succumb to none of that shit. I am the king of my domain. Everything runs every time I point at it. Nothing controls me, you know? And I think like that's one of the major weaknesses. You understand what I'm saying? Like I was 43 and my son went back to school last Monday. Yeah, last Monday. I got text you. I got to pick my son up from school. Like that's like my joy, man. You know what I mean? And I thought wealthy was fucking bitches and driving Range Rovers and Rolls Royces. I am wealthy because I can drive my son to school at 8 o'clock and I can pick his ass up at 4 o'clock. That's wealth to me, man. Those conversations that I have with my son, 20 minutes going, 20 minutes coming back, I wouldn't trade that for Megan Good's pussy. I wouldn't trade that for Lauryn Hill's pen. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't trade, man. I definitely wouldn't. You understand? So at the end of the day, I think we always, I never, people always get mad at my trainer goes crazy when I say this, but I've never had a bad day ever in my life working for me. Ever. I've never like when I was a school teacher, oh man, yeah, you dreaded the middle of the week. Thursdays was always a lug. You know, when I felt fatigue or I went out on Thursday nights, went to a club, I put on a movie on Friday, didn't want to be there with the kids sometimes, you know, but working for me, I've never had a bad day. Honestly, man, I knew that tomorrow was going to reap dividends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not the person that falls asleep. So I'm not the person that says, okay, and that's passive. I'm very assertive. I'm intentionally intentional. You understand? My words are like my words are like you and I didn't talk much. You just said yes. I say yes. You say no. We got to say, well, this and that. No, I just speak in real straight. And I genuinely believe that you got to be intentional. Like there's no bad day working for yourself.
Yeah.
Like how can, like, think about it conceptually. How is it a bad day betting and believing on yourself?
Exactly.
So Jesus came down to earth and was like, man, today is going to be a bad day. Caesar, man, that motherfucker Caesar, man, Peter betrayed me 3 times. Judas believes in the devil. Man, this shit bad down here on earth. Ain't no verse in the Bible that said, oh man, oh, Mary Magdalene fucking all those niggas. No, he ain't never had that. Like, no, man, working and betting on yourself every day is a great day, dog. Yeah, like no lie, real spill, man. I ain't never had a bad day.
Yeah,
no lie.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. I rock with that. All right, so what you do as a media entity, because now you're a media entity that people are tuning in to get information, inspiration, and you're raw and uncut with it, you know, sometimes controversial. We'll even get to that.
Yeah.
But I want to say, what advice would you have for, I guess, quote unquote, becoming new media, you know, out there? What advice could you give to someone wanting to do that field?
Tell the truth. Tell the fucking truth, man, and create the news. You know what I mean? Like the reason why I'm controversial, because I know I'm creating the news. I'm not repeating what you said. I don't give a fuck. Oh, the fight date is February 13th, 2000. ESPN reported that shit. 10 YouTube channels reported that shit. I'm trying to find something. That's new to the audience. You understand? And they're going to call you a hater at first. Oh, he's a hater. He's this, he's that. But I said it in my authentic voice. So I'm not lying to myself. Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? And people were so used to getting on the train and going for a ride. You know what I mean? That's why 1% controls 99%. You understand? That's why everyone believes in some type of God. You know what I mean? Everyone falls in line with their religion. You understand what I'm saying? People say, oh, come, I'm broke as hell. I'm broke as hell, but I gotta go to church on Sunday. Nigga, you need a job, nigga. Go get a job. Go make some money. You understand what I'm saying? Like your son is wearing hand-me-downs, dog. Like your son and daughter needs to eat. And you're going to church praying. You could pray while you're driving. You could pray while you're laboring. You understand? So I understand that people are uncomfortable hearing things that's not for free on that train. You understand? And that train is leading them to mediocrity. You know what I mean? Conformity is the greatest sin in the world. You know what I mean? You got those Jordans? I want those Jordans too. Huh? You got that job? I want that job too. That's conformity.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. 100%.
So be authentic, man, and tell the truth and create the news. You understand? More than half the time, I would say 70 to 80% of my content, I'm creating the news. You understand? I'm saying what you're thinking. I'm saying what the majority of the people are thinking, you know? And it's a tough pill to swallow sometimes because your untrained ear is like, oh, that's not right. That's not true. You know what I mean? So creating the news and be consistent at it. You know, content is king.
Yeah.
You know, content is cash. You understand what I'm saying? Content is currency. And I understand that. So I understand that 100 people want to hear me speak every day.
Yeah.
And maybe next week 105 people. People think that is, oh man, you go from 0 to 1 million. No, I own my time. Like that's the most beautiful thing in the world is that I own my time. People say, I want to make $1 gazillion. No, this opportunity affords you to go create another opportunity. So if you're getting $10,000 doing a YouTube channel, you flip that $10,000 and you go somewhere else with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it.
Definitely. So even with you speaking the truth, and like you said, some people may look at it as a hater or consider it controversial. How, and even on an independent level, how are you able to build relationships with these celebrities in these fields? You know, especially since you don't conform, you're out there and you're independent, you know?
Yeah, I have a great team. I have DB, shout out to DB, shout out to Patricia Dean, aka PPD. They do a great job. We're a team, we work together. Yeah. And I say this, I don't give a fuck about you, and you don't have to give a fuck about me. All we care about is this our threshold. You understand? I'm not changing. I'm consistent. When you go to Roscoe's, you know you're getting a waffle and you know you're getting a fry. When you go to Burger King and you get a Big Mac and there's motherfucking potato sauce on, you like, what the fuck is this? No, I'm gonna be that Big Mac every day. I'm not changing my moral compass. I'm not changing what I stand for. Are you coming on my show? Simply put, I'm not gonna compromise myself. No, I'm not doing none of that shit. And at the end of the day, more people will respect that than not. You understand? I don't give a fuck about how much money you got. I don't care about your social status as it pertains to interactions. You know, I respect what you've done and what you've accomplished, but I don't consider myself any greater than you as it pertains to going out and not being my authentic self. Yeah. You know, I think people love and respect authenticity. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't believe it, all you got to see is watch 100 people eulogize somebody. Oh, he was the greatest person. He was the nicest person. He was so authentic. He was so real. That's what they're going to say about you when you die. So be that person while you live. You get what I'm saying? So, and I think they respect the hustle. They respect the fact that I'm going to ask what everyone else is thinking. Like, why are we not talking about what everybody sees and what everyone hears? You know? And that's it. And some people come on the show, they want to outwit me. They want to be smarter than me. They think they bigger and badder, and that's cool. I'm still gonna walk you to this corner. You know what I mean? You can leave me, nigga. I'm gonna let you leave me. And then you're gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta make a U-turn. Ha ha, gotcha, nigga. You know what I mean? so man, so it's duality with that, you know, and my authenticity, man. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And being an independent voice helps too, because I don't have to adhere to their PR person. Oh, he can't talk about this. Oh, we're cool. Fuck it. It's cool. Come back next year. I'll hit you back in 6 months and maybe we can do this again. But I'm not, oh, he can't talk about religion. He can't talk about politics. He can't. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
100%. I mean, that's definitely why I rock with you, is the authenticity and just saying like what nobody else is saying. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely rock with you on that. So I would say because I mean, you work with a lot of people. So I would say out of all your guests and celebrities that you've worked with, what would you say was one of your favorite moments?
Favorite moments? Okay, I'll tell you a great story. Yeah. One of our subscribers, and this stains me too, lost both his daughters, right? and we raised over $1,000 in one show. One of the subscribers lived in Vegas, actually delivered the cash to him. Errol Spence was his favorite fighter. I called Errol Spence. Errol Spence flew him to the Danny Garcia fight, put him up in a hotel, got him ringside tickets. And that's one of the more profound moments, I would say. And the fact that there's a lot of people that has spawned and created their media platforms and stuff. And I'm honored and flattered that the people that support me will support them. You understand? Because we build platforms at the top of mountains. You don't get to the top of the mountain and look down at your niggas. I'm here first. You understand what I'm saying? So I think like those are the more beautiful moments. Like every interview really stands on its own. You understand? There's been some bad interviews on my part. Like sometimes I cut the camera. I'm like, I really fucked that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, God damn, nigga, like you really fucked that shit up. You know what I mean? And then there are times where me and DB are so succinct, and PPD has a great job getting the person on the show, and is just a phenomenal thing. And then there are times where I'm like, that person's full of shit. You understand what I'm saying? Where I'm dying to get out the interview. Like I'm like, well, and then my famous question is, you got time for one more question? Because I'm ready to get your ass out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, so yeah, man, for real, for sure.
And now, honestly, that's even the dope story. Just even how you did that for someone else. You know what I'm saying? I think that's incredible. You know what I mean? To even, a follower, somebody that was watching you, going through like a tough time, something they wouldn't even expect. Wow. And for you to do that, man, that's amazing right there. That's amazing. And I don't even think like people really get to see that side of you a lot. You know what I mean? So I think that's dope. I think that's dope.
We've donated thousands of dollars now. Like I'm not going to, the barbershop has donated thousands of dollars. Yeah. The world is opening back up. So we have May 1st. We're teaching young men from 13 on up how to change oil, how to change brake pads. In July, we're doing a backpack giveaway and free haircuts. And then we're going to do something else. So the barbershop ain't playing as it pertains to giving back to the community. You understand what I'm saying? There needs to be a space where men can be men, and where men can talk to a young man how to do this, how to do that, and not have to be like afraid of the Me Too movement or this what was it called, toxic masculinity. You understand that old. So I like the space that we're in. Yeah, as it pertains to giving back, because in terms of social economic climate, we're all different. No one makes the same amount of money. Yeah. No one serves their God at the same rate as someone else. So we're all different. We're not monolithic, not by one bit. So I think that's the beauty in the barbershop. It's every night. There's a level of tension that goes, and we fight and we claw, but we come back every fucking night, 5 nights a week, man. Keep on coming back, man. Keep on coming back. So it's fun though. It's truly fun for sure.
And where's your barbershop located, for those that don't know?
Actually, I'm not a barber at all, but I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles. The reason why I created the barbershop was because I come from a single parent household. And I remember me growing up as a child, me going into the barbershop, and the barbershop being like the best place on earth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where every conversation, whether we was talking about how fat her ass is, or whether we was talking about going to church on Sunday, or at the time, New York Giants, or that was my favorite team. Whatever we talk about, it was the most authentic place that I had as a child. I couldn't talk about how fat a woman's ass was in school. You understand what I'm saying? I couldn't talk about LeBron James in church, you know, but
Mhm.
in the barbershop, there is no like preconceived behaviors. You know, you can just go in and just purge yourself, you know, that week, that Saturday morning for me it was, you know. So
Yeah.
uh so that's what I built that's what I built it on,
No,
that
that's
type of
dope.
energy.
That's
Mhm.
dope. And I like, you know, the encouragement you get from men, because another thing I'm continuously talking about, like even in my music, is like the fact that as men too, we have to stop being victims, because I feel like it's like pressure and culture to make it like a victimized society. And we will never be successful that way, making excuses for this, making excuses for that. If something that's happening that's out of your control, you got to think, well, what can I do to do better and not be a victim to the situation? So that's why I do love, you know, what you're doing for the men out there, and just helping them with that mindset, you know?
No, it's incredibly important. I'll tell you a great story that accompanies what you just said.
Yeah.
There was a she has a podcast too, King Speak, Jamie Alexander. Your subscribers should go check her out.
Okay.
And she came on and said she was on a date
Mhm.
and she had to go to the bathroom, and she asked the date, can she go to his bathroom before the Uber comes? And she came out and said, well, he basically tried to fuck me when that came out. And I says, what was he supposed to do? What was he supposed to? I'm not saying throw you down and rape you. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I'm
Mhm.
saying he was supposed to create a setting to lure you into taking your clothes off. You understand? Like when you if you go to a jungle, you expect the lion to act like a lion, right?
Mhm.
When you go to church, you expect the priest to act like a priest. Well,
Mhm.
when you go on a date as a single woman with a single man, you expect that nigga to act like a man, because that same nigga that want to have sex with you is the same nigga that'll change your tire.
Mhm.
Those are alpha male tendencies you're talking about. You understand? The same nigga you saying, oh, he tried to fuck me, is gonna change your oil. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? The same nigga where you only got your $300 short in your rent, that's an alpha male tendency. You
Mhm.
understand? So all this shucking and jiving, not letting men be men, man, it's and women are falling in line with that. And guess what? The birth rate is dropping.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? All these women want to be equal to men, and the birth rate's dropping.
Mhm.
You understand? Like that's the big picture. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Especially for minority groups.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to make as much money as our male counterpart.
Mhm.
Well, the birth rate is dropping. These
Mhm.
motherfuckers gonna stay in power. They trick
Yeah.
us. They trick us at every level. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Get the birth rate up. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? There's nothing wrong with being feminine.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yes,
And
that
even to touch on that, I'm not sorry to cut you off, but to
oh, you
touch
know.
on that, because I'm even like, you know, I'm married now. I just got married last year. And I know it's been like the culture, the women, they feel like, oh, I got to submit to my husband. I don't submit. We're equal to. Listen, you as a woman, you're deciding who you submit to. So you got to find that man that you feel like is strong enough and it makes sense who you submit to, because that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like the world is always trying to downplay that culture. You know what I'm saying? To just kind of touch on that.
Yeah, they they want to, but that's where that independence come from.
Hmm.
That freedom. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? To not say I want to be like Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you know,
Hmm.
or Mr. and Mrs. Vasquez, or
Hmm.
you know, the list goes on and on. Like that individuality, like create your life.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? I think like that's so essential. You
Yeah.
know, falling in line and getting in debt. You know, like I tell myself all the time, if I hadn't got laid off, shit, I would have been so happy being a school teacher. Would have never known this side of the coin.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Necessity is the mother of invention. You know, I had to provide, and I told myself I'm never going back to give someone power over my life, though. You
Hmm.
know, and that's the significance of it. You know, like creating your own magic, be your own magician. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Stop watching other people's magic tricks. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Create
100%.
your own castle, build your own castle, and you be the magician.
For sure. For sure.
Mhm.
100%. Now let's talk a little boxing. You know, now I finally
Yeah.
have someone to talk some boxing with.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, I do want to start off, but what is your favorite platform for boxing right now? Because it's separated. You got Showtime, The Zone, ESPN. What's your favorite in general?
I would say before the coronavirus,
Mhm.
it would be PBC. Like I admire those fighters. Like it's you know, they have my favorite fighters over there, but they haven't been fighting. They haven't been fighting of late. I'm not satisfied with their scheduling, although they just dropped a 9-fight schedule for the next 5 months on Showtime. So I'm real eager to see that. And since then I've just been looking back at watching how the escape of boxing has configured, and I'm excited about Triller. Like I'm excited about the concerts and it being an event and me able to watch fights with or bring people into the sport of boxing that wouldn't normally watch boxing. Like this last fight, I was greatly entertained. We had Snoop Dogg perform, Ice Cube perform, E40, Too Short, you know, and the list goes on and on. That was pretty cool to, you know, it was a little bit too long for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was a little bit too long, but they got to figure out the production part of it. But I was greatly entertained. But the PBC fires is honestly what I attach myself to.
Yes,
you know.
Nah, I agree with you. I'm the same way. And actually, it's crazy you brought up Triller because I do agree with that. But I feel like with Triller, it would be better if they did like a halftime show, almost like how like the Super Bowl was, you know, instead of like between every single fight and then they'd be performing for like it feels like an hour sometimes, you know.
The lack of continuity.
You
understand what I'm saying?
It's a dope concept though, so I definitely rock.
They'll
with
figure
that.
it out. They'll figure it out.
So who are your top 3 boxers of today?
Wilder.
Yep.
I like Spence character.
Yes.
What he did for Jaquan. You know, there's a lot of fighters I like. Gary Russell. I like Devin Haney. You know, the list goes on and on. Tony Harrison. Jay Hurt. I like all those PBC fighters, man. Because, I really do, because I've been covering them since they were with Golden Boy.
Yeah.
You understand? I live in Los Angeles, so I've been covering them for over 10 years. You understand? So they didn't know. They didn't know I was covering them because I wasn't on YouTube. I was just writing little articles and stuff. But so I have an emotional attachment to their success, you know. So I root for them greatly. And but hopefully they get the ball rolling. You know, hopefully they start fighting one another, man.
I know.
You know, like,
I want to see. They put out a little fight schedule. I want to see something a little better. I'm excited about the Gervonta Davis fight that's coming up. That's kind of like the one that really caught my attention for what they put out so far.
I'm interested in that one. He's going up to 140.
Yes, yeah. I'm very surprised too that they really taking that risk like that too.
He was handpicked. They believe he can beat him and be a 4-division world champion, you know. But it is a JV belt, though. You know, he doesn't have the major belt because the major belt unification is May 22nd on ESPN. You know, Bob Arum has Bob Arum, does he have Josh Taylor and Ramirez? So the winner of that. But Floyd was just complaining about, we got too many belts, but he's sending Tank up to 140 to go get the JV belt. You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, contradiction after contradiction as it pertains to the sport of boxing.
Definitely. That's the annoying side of it. I would say, so me personally, right? My favorite, I mean, it kind of fluctuates as far as division between like heavyweight and welterweight with me personally is my favorite. Even though 135 is going crazy. But what would you say is your favorite division? And what do you think is the most underrated division that that you feel like fans don't really realize, but they have some amazing fighters?
My favorite division, if they fought, would be 154. The most underrated division would be 122.
Oh, okay.
122 is an exciting division. You know, we got Stevie Fulton down there. We got Neary. We got Figueroa. We got what's the other guy's name? There's a handful of other one. Reese Salim is down there, 122, and you got another one. There's 5 or 6 really good fighters down there, and Showtime is starting to showcase them. which I think is cool. But 154, my gosh.
Yeah.
Man, that's motherfucking blue collar division, man. Jamel Charlo's dominating that division. Congratulations to him. He has a chance to unify that division July 17th. Hopefully in the city of Houston. That'll be great for him and his city. So
and that's the first unification ever, right? He'd be the first unified champion
at 154 ever in the history of the sport.
Yes.
You know, hopefully the city wraps their arms around him.
Definitely.
You know, and it becomes a successful show for him.
Yeah. To me, 154 has always been like, I don't know, it's always been underrated to me because I feel like, you know, Lara should have been bigger than what he was. I feel like the Charlos should be even bigger than what they are, you know. But they have like so many fighters. So 154, man. I'm glad what Jamel is doing because now they gotta put some more respect on that name, on that division.
Right.
But now we have some fighters that haven't fought each other. So, well, big one that a lot of people want to see. Hopefully it happens. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. Who you got?
I got Errol. I think Errol's just a better fighter. I think Terence. I'm not sold on Terence Crawford yet. You know, I haven't seen him against some upper echelon competition. You know, he has his resume is like kind of like 10 private high schools. You understand? You know what I mean? Like Will Smith University. You remember Will Smith in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he Bel Air High School and shit when he was scoring 73 points a game, you know, trying to emulate Michael Jordan and shit. You know, he's fought a few Carltons in his life. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just waiting for him to get in the ring with a real lion. You know what I mean? I want him to come fight a public school.
Yeah. I'm hoping they make that Sean Porter fight with him.
Sean Porter would be interesting. Porter would be interesting, but Sean Porter always turns into Dorothy at midnight. You understand what I'm saying? Like he doesn't win the big one. He's gonna compete.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really. It's one thing missing in Sean Porter.
Yeah.
Because Sean Porter would have been. He's a dog now. Like I'm not discrediting his ability to compete. I'm talking about his ability to win big fights. That's all I'm saying. And he's fallen short, but he's a hell of a competitor, man. And that's what he just it's something missing there. And it's sad because he's a hell of an athlete. He was an all-state football player. He has great aggression. He has a high intellect. That's I've noticed that about him, but his skill set just isn't there, you know, like where it should be, you know, at the highest levels.
But what I will say though is like with Porter, because he's definitely a good gauge for people. But after he fights, like when he did the Thurman and Spence, because I like that, and I like the undefeated record, but not so much that you don't take the good fights. You know, I'd rather than take a better fight. But my thing is, I do get worried about rematches though. Because I do feel like Sean might just edge it out because it'd be so close that I'd be like, all right, Errol, stay away from Sean until we see the Crawford thing, you know what I'm saying? And do that. Because he'd be right there, you know?
He would have beat Keith Thurman in the rematch. I don't know why he didn't mash the gas on that. Yeah. Keith Thurman didn't want to go through hell again. He would have beat. I actually had Sean Porter winning that Keith Thurman fight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had him edging out. I had him 8-4 against Earl. I thought he lost against Kell Brook because he wasn't tough enough.
Yeah.
And those are his 3 losses. He looked good against Malignaggi and Devin Alexander. But he's a great barometer. He's a great competitor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's either Terence Crawford or Jerron Ennis for Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. You know what I mean? Someone got to step up to the plate. Ain't no other $1 million fights out there for you.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do?
Definitely. Hopefully not trying to fight Canelo. He'd be throwing that in the air, but I'm like,
who?
Spence be throwing that in the air with Canelo.
Oh, Spence, not yet.
Yeah, I'm like, don't do that. I don't know. Clear out this division, you know. Definitely.
Not yet.
All right, so let's talk a smaller weight class. Lopez, Davis, and Haney. Oh, and Ryan Garcia too.
Ryan Garcia.
Who do you think when the smoke clears is gonna be the last one standing. We know who's the most avoided. I feel like Haney's the most avoided right now, but who do you personally feel
Haney is the most avoided. Honestly, I think they all beat each other. For real. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you and say I obviously would. I mean, if you tell me to choose a favorite,
yeah.
I mean, I would definitely choose Haney and Tank, right? But I mean, I think those motherfuckers are so talented and so skilled that they'll beat each other. Maybe one of them will edge out one in the split decision and maybe win the whole round robin thing. I'm not talking about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is basically the thought of the division. You know, who's gonna fuck him first? You get what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much what I'm just being honest. Like, you know what I mean?
Look at him like the YouTube star.
Yeah. He's not really that skilled. But I think man, I just want them to fight each other, man. And it's sad that Tank is going up to 140. Like you never give a fat kid more cake. Yeah. You understand? Telling him to go up to 140, then you're gonna tell him to go back down to 135. Yeah. Come on, man. Give me a fucking break. You know, I mean, you just fought at 130, so you're gonna skip one, you're gonna move up 2 divisions. So I think Leonard Ellaby and Floyd are grossly mismanaging him. And it's gonna show in 2 years. It's not gonna show now. It's gonna show in 2 years when he's fighting fights that he's not supposed to be fighting. He's shorter than me, you know, so he's a little guy. You know, he should be fighting at 26 and 30, keep it a buck, but he lives his lifestyle. He likes to eat, he likes to party, you know, so and that fighter's lifestyle is real, and I don't think Tank is 100% living that fighter's lifestyle. You know, and that's a competitive advantage that Floyd created in himself, was he lived that competitive lifestyle. Like what Floyd does for fun is he rides his bike. Like for real, like that's pretty cool, right? Like it's not like so some of his things that he's addicted to or things that actually promote boxing, you know. So so that's
okay. But yeah, like I think so what fight are you most looking forward to? Maybe not even announced yet, but what fight are you most excited and looking forward to?
Wilder Fury 3.
Okay. So over Anthony Joshua and Fury?
Yeah, that man, they gonna milk. Yeah, I don't know if that fight's happening. You know, I mean, look at Khan and Brooke. You know, that shit never materialized. You know, so I want to see Wilder.
Yeah, I want to see his comeback. I
want Wilder to come back, and I want him to get his chance. You know, they signed up for a rematch. He pulled Tyson Fury out of the depths of hell and guaranteed him a fight. Yeah. You know, Tyson Fury weighed 400 pounds, you know, be a man, you know, honor your word. And I think that's what the business of boxing wants to do is move Tyson Fury to a space where they can make a lot of money and it's safe for him. You know, Wilder's a real wild card, you know, he has that, he has that eraser. And it's gonna be a hell of a fight. That third fight is gonna be a hell of a fight, man. That third fight, I predict Wilder will win. And then we're gonna see a fourth one for a whole lot of money. You know, now it ain't gonna be a fourth fight. I don't think it'll be a fourth fight.
Yeah, now, I definitely want to see that again. I think he owes it to him, because like you said, like Tyson Fury is basically retired, and he gave him the motivation to get back in and get these checks that he's getting in to feed his family. It's only right. And there's like weird controversy circling around the last fight that they had, you know?
Right.
So definitely. We do appreciate, you know, having you on the podcast. Most of all, dropping some inspiration for our people.
That's love.
We are putting together some events in New York, so I do want to keep you posted. Maybe get you out here for something where we are reaching the community. Let me know what you got going on the West Coast. I'd be more than happy to come out there and attend too.
That's love. That's love. No, for sure. We got to come on my platform as well, man. We'll rock out. Yeah, we'll definitely rock out. And I don't know when I'm going to New York next, but probably I'll pick up my traveling probably the last quarter of this year.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Last quarter of this year, I'll start traveling more and more intently. But But yeah, man, it was a pleasure having me on, though. Thank you.
Yeah, man, we thank you. I definitely, would love to get on your platform too as well.
Yeah.
I do some music. I'm actually dropping a new song with Snoop Dogg very soon. It's on my website right now, but soon that'll be coming. So we'll talk about it. And I just love being able to just talk boxing with somebody. I'm telling you, I don't have enough boxing friends, bro. Like, I might just be texting you about these fights. Like, yo, you see this?
Yeah. Boxing is not one of the top 5 sports here in America, and it's the boxer's fault. It's the business of boxing, as they said. It could be, it should be. You know what I mean? But the best ain't fighting the best. I know at the end of the season, the New Jersey Nets are playing the Lakers, like projecting, right? Yeah. So I know that's happening. At the end of the football season, I know that the Super Bowl is coming. So. Exactly. And boxing, we like, shit, how many belts is it? Who's the best? Who's the champion?
Then they start inventing new belts. Oh man, we ain't get it. I mean, man.
Yeah, who you telling, dog? Who you telling, man? Man,
yes. Hopefully Triller keeps bringing people in there, by bringing these outside celebrities. Because I want to say to all you people out there, give boxing a chance so we can talk more boxing. And if you're a fan of boxing, holla at me so I got more people to talk to. My friends, man, they just, man, talk about my friends. But let us know again where we can follow you. I know you're on multiple platforms.
Silent Heroes on Instagram. That's SILENTHEROS.
Yes.
And Barbershop Conversations on YouTube. And I thank you for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you again, my brother. Thank you.
Dog. Yeah, for sure.
What up, everyone? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell for the latest podcasts, music videos, and comedy skits. We got a lot more content coming your way.
We here all day, baby. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, baby.
Yeah. We gotta show love first like a podcast. Put the work in, trying to make it last.